Major League Baseball International's coverage of the National League Championship Series coming your way from Atlanta, Georgia. Turner Field, where the Atlanta Braves on their home turf trying to wrap up the National League pennant and move on to the World Series against the Yankees, and they've got a 5-0 lead after 5. Gary Thorne, Ken Singleton for the Mets, a disastrous first inning, which the Braves scored all 5 runs and just 2 hits. Al Leiter never got an out, the starter for the Mets. Gave up a walk, couple of hit batters, 2 RBI single by Eddie Perez, RBI single by Brian Jordan.
And meanwhile,
on an error.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kevin Millwood has been outstanding from the start.
Alfonso, the 0-1 pitch up high. 0 for 2 tonight for Edgardo Alfonso, 5 for 24 in the series for the Mets second baseman. 1-1 is fouled back into the screen.
Now here's where Millwood has gone to that either slow breaking ball or tight slider on the outer half against the right-handed hitters, and it's been very, very effective. Once he gets 2 strikes, he's got various ways to get you out. There's that tight slider, but he missed. Couldn't get it close enough to the strike zone for Edgardo Alfonso to go after it.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Edgardo Alfonso. And he'll foul that one back. Alfonso keeps it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Atlanta Braves will not be letting up. The '96 World Series, they led New York 6-0 at home and lost the game 8-6. That one to left center field by Edgardo Alfonso's a gapper. He's on his way to second base and will pull up there with a double. And the Mets have the leadoff man on for the 3rd time in 6 innings.
First extra base hit for the Mets, and Alfonso fouled the previous fastball back almost in the same area, same location as the pitch. The next one's in the same area, and he just drills it to the gap in left center. So he got his timing down on the previous pitch, was a little bit quicker on this one, and right away he knows he's got a gapper. Gerald Williams and Andrew Jones, they're in the retrieving mode.
So the Mets with the leadoff man on at second base. They've left 2 in scoring position in the game. 4 on total. John Olerud 0 for 2. Off-speed deliveries in for a strike. Olerud, one of the game's outstanding clutch hitters. He and Edgardo Alfonso over the last 2 years have been the 1 and 2 best clutch hitters in this New York Mets lineup. This season, Olerud hit an even 300 with runners in scoring position, meaning a runner at second and or third. 2-1 delivery, outside corner heater, 2-2.
Millwood does not give in. When he falls behind on the count, he's still going for the corners. Toughest pitch for any hitter to hit is one low and away at the knees. It's the furthest away from his eyes. It is more difficult to judge whether it's a ball or a strike. And Millwood has stayed in that area just about to everybody tonight. When he's had to make a pitch, that's where it's been.
Chances of getting to him, Kenny, a little better with runners on during the year. Opponents at 255 with runners on base. 177 when the bases were empty. 2-2. Grounded towards the hole. Can't get it, base hit. Alfonso will stay. They're not going to risk the out. Comes all the way through. Olerud's going to stay at first. And the Mets have the corners covered now with nobody out.
What you saw with that base hit by Olerud, he's looking around as if he can't believe Alfonso did not score. First of all, Andrew Jones plays very, very shallow. So he doesn't have that far to go to come up with this single to center field. And with his arm, which is one of the best in baseball, third base coaches are leery of sending runners. Throws a little offline, but certainly would have been in time to get Alfonso. And when you're down by 5 runs, you do not take any chances.
That run at third is meaningless in and of itself. The odds is up, and there's nobody out. So the Mets trying to build a little momentum with Mike Piazza 3 for 22 in the series and 0 for 2 in this game. Off Eddie Perez.
This is the second inning in a row that the Mets have had at least 2 hits off of Millwood, but the first time they've had them back-to-back in the game.
The big hits that aren't coming, that's what that number is about. They're getting runners into scoring position, but not getting them home. Piazza hit 293 during the regular season with runners in scoring position. Always a good clutch hitter. But so banged up in this postseason. It's really not the same Mike Piazza team saw during the regular season games.
When we got to the ballpark early tonight, there were a lot of Met fans on hand, but their voices have been silenced by the way the Braves scored 5 runs early in the game.
2-strike count. Fly ball left field. Alfonso tagging. Williams will make the catch. Alfonso will score, and the Mets are on the board. 5-1. An RBI for Piazza.
Piazza's second run batted in of the series.
Olerud had to stay at first. So 1 in.
Does a good job, even though the count is 0-2, and you can see the pitch was up, and that's why he was on it, able to drive it. Not quite the way he might have wanted to hit it. And watch here, watch the runner tag up. This is Alfonso, has all kinds of time. The ball will be caught by Williams, and that's when he will leave for home plate.
So Piazza the RBI, 5-1. Now Robin Ventura 0 for 2 in the game. Olerud at first base. Ventura 2 for 21 in the series. Rips that into the corner. That's going to be a base hit. John Olerud, who's not a fast runner, on his way to third. Brian Jordan gets it in, and the Mets have 2 in scoring position with 1 out. A double by Ventura.
Remember what we said earlier about the Mets having some time to get back in this game. Braves scoring all their runs in the first inning. Another pitch that is very high in the strike zone. About belt high for Ventura. See, the pitchers are coming up away from the knee area. So it's a little easier just to drop the bat right about belt high and drive it into the corner for Ventura. Several pitches up in the zone in this inning for Millwood. Olerud, as Gary said, not very fast.
Neither's he. Robin Ventura.
In other words, they wouldn't be half of a 440 relay team.
Well, they battled all year in deciding who was the slower of the two, good-naturedly. John Olerud, before the game, figures he's won the battle. Hamilton up the middle. Hamilton off Brett. Boone for a base hit and 2 RBIs. And the Mets are right back in it. 5-3.
Darrell Hamilton with his 3rd hit. And what Brett Boone does by slowing this ball down, it means the ball can't get to Andrew Jones, and he can't hold Ventura at 3rd. Andrew Jones playing shallow, as we mentioned. Darrell Hamilton now 3 hits off of Millwood. Watch him get a glove on it. That will slow it down, and Andrew Jones will not be able to get to it quickly, which would have held Ventura at 3rd. Olerud will score easily. Ventura is going to be waved home by Cookie Rojas only after the ball is slowed down by Brett Boone at 2nd.
And that's going to be it for Kevin Millwood. So the Mets have accomplished 1 goal. They have gotten Millwood out of this ball game by touching him up for 2 doubles, 2 singles, and a sac fly here in the 6th inning. Terry Mulholland will be coming out of the bullpen. Atlanta, the capital of the state of Georgia, and that is the Capitol Dome, located less than a mile from Turner Field here in downtown Atlanta. The capital of the South, as they like to call themselves. And Kevin Millwood is out of there. That is his shortest outing since June 28th. 5 1/3 innings, 3 runs on 8 hits. And the Mets are back in it with Terry Mulholland on. And it's starting to rain.
And as we all know, that's Met weather.
Good sign for the Mets. Rain was predicted, and it's raining. And oh my, do you sense another knockdown, drag-out battle. Benny Agbayani is the pinch hitter for Roger Cedeno. Cedeno, as we said, a switch hitter, better from the left side. Bobby Valentine wants the right-handed batter up there against the left-hander Mulholland. Missed outside, 3 balls and no strikes. Runner at first and 1 out.
Well, the Mets do have the tying run at the plate in Agbayani, who does have power.
There's the rain coming down. Strike taken on the outside corner.
One thing to note, though, Turner Field, one of the newer ballparks, and certainly better at handling the rain. They have this prescription turf, they like to call it, that just soaks up the rain.
And Eddie Perez takes another shot. These two catchers are about as beat up, banged up, and black and blue as 2 ball players could be at this point of the season. Piazza hurting all over, and Perez not much different. 3-2, 1 down. Benny Agbayani in this series 0-for-6.
See the big leg?
2 is a pinch hitter.
Yeah, the big leg kick and the foul ball off of the shoulder of Benny Perez. Not much padding there.
The New York Mets have come from behind to take 3 of the 5 wins that they have in this postseason. They were a big come-from-behind team during the regular season. Only Atlanta had more come-from-behind wins. 3-2. Agbayani rips it foul.
One of the difficulties for the Mets with Mulholland in the game, it is very difficult to get a jump on him and steal. He had a period of 5 years where he did not allow a stolen base, and it's because of how quickly he gets rid of the ball and his great move to first base. That combination really puts a halt on the running game.
He walked him. And the Mets continue a big inning. That is the first walk given up. Millwood gave up none. Mets pitchers have given up 2. And the Mets have runners at first and second with Ordonez coming up.
Remember what Bobby Valentine said in the office about Ordonez and his bunting? It hasn't been very good in this series. In fact, each time he's attempted, he has popped out. He is 0-for-3 in these situations.
He also has been swinging wildly at pitches. What do you do here? Pitcher due up next. There'll be a pinch hitter there. 1 down, 2 on. Let him hit. He fouls it back, 0-2.
And the reason why he's letting him hit, well, there's 1 out to begin with. And number 2, he probably doesn't think he can get the bunt down, even if he had him bunt.
Hamilton, a speedy runner at second base. Sean Dunston on deck to pinch hit. 0-2 delivery. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Ray Ordonez. Ordonez is 3 for 10 off this left-hander Terry Mulholland in his career. 1-2 delivery. Surprisingly, Ordonez did not hit as well against left-handers as he did against right-handers during the year. 231 off left-handers and 267 off right-handers.
That's usually an indication that a right-handed hitter likes the ball out over the plate.
Oof. He climbed that ladder to get a foul ball, meaning he went after a pitch way up out of the strike zone.
He's not going to let too many pass. He's one of those guys I always felt that some hitters are so aggressive, as you can see where this is. The strike zone is, you know, about right there. Is that they can't take more than 2 pitches without swinging the bat.
And a liner, chance for 2. Huge double play. And a base running mistake for Darrell Hamilton. The liner to Walt Weiss ends the inning. gets the shot behind the runner Weiss, and an easy double play, and the Mets get 3 in the inning and cut the Atlanta Braves lead to 5-3. Well, we got ourselves a ball game as the Atlanta Braves lead now 5-3. Note, Atlanta has only 3 hits in this game.
Look,
right on the hand, and Jordan didn't like it. Turk Wendell. Jordan looks at him. Jordan has been playing with a bad hand the whole second half of the year. That's why he's so sensitive about taking a shot on that hand.
Well, number one, you know Turk Wendell was not throwing at him intentionally because of the fact that you don't want to put the leadoff guy on. His first pitch of the inning is wild, and you're right. Brian Jordan in pain once again. And I think this one got him in the hand rather than in the wrist. But the fans here in Atlanta are well aware of his problems. It's up and in, and watch him get, you know, his head out of the way, but he leaves his bat out there. And with the hand wrapped around the bat is hard. And there's no place for those fingers to go.
And that's the bad hand, Kenny. It's the right hand.
Jeff Porter, the trainer, has been busy tonight as Brian Jordan's headed down to first base. I mean, the Mets just got 3 runs. The last thing they want to do is put a guy on base by hitting him leading off an inning.
Third hit batter in the game. Leiter hit 2, and now Wendell hits Jordan. This only heats up the rivalry of these 2 teams.
You know, hands and the wrist area, there's a lot of small bones there, and it's difficult to hit enough when you have 2 healthy hands. If you're trying to hit with one that's not feeling well like Jordan did, and that's why his season kind of went downhill.
He had 2 different seasons because of that hand injury. He was the MVP of this team for the first half, and in the second half, average dipped 100 points. He's not going anywhere, though. It was first base.
Yeah, it was Mike Thurman of Montreal who hit him in June and set his season in the other direction. And right here, Turk Wendell does some damage to that right hand again.
He's on at first base, leadoff man on. Andrew Jones up against Wendell. Boy, I'll tell you, this thing is heating up in a hurry. No more smiles in Atlanta.
Well, Braves opened the door in the top half of the 6th inning, and the Mets stepped through for 3 runs. And they made it close. Now, the game was really sailing along until that point.
Squares to bunt, takes the slider.
But now with the game down to a 2-run deficit for the Mets, and the Braves with a 2-run lead, as Greg Maddux gets up in the bullpen along with John Smoltz. Wow.
5 Cy Youngs represented right there for those starters who will work out of the pen.
This is where this game is going to slow down again. Each pitch is going to mean an awful lot.
Andrew Jones has never had a hit off Turk Wendell. Wendell got to hurry. Throws it wide. Andrew Jones was 0 for 10 against Turk Wendell before that at bat. It wasn't exactly a screaming line drive, but it's a hit.
Yeah, but it might look like a line drive in a paper tomorrow. Look like a little cutter. Wendell makes a nice play to come up with it, but the throw is offline in his haste to get to Speedy Jones, who's going to beat it down the line. Really no chance. He might have been better served to pick it up and hold on to it. If he throws it away, remember, Jordan's down at second. He would have moved on. Good play by Olerud to give up the bag.
Turk Wendell, first 2 batters on here in the 6th inning. So Jordan goes to second. Andrew Jones with the Braves' 4th hit is on at first. Here he comes again. Eddie Perez seemingly is up every time in a big situation for the Atlanta Braves. And he bunts, and a beauty. Olerud's got to go to first. Alfonso covers. A sacrifice for Eddie Perez.
This guy's done everything. He's called some good games for the Braves. He's gotten some big hits. drove in 2 runs in the first inning, and now, when called upon, when a guy's been driving in runs, one of the things you don't think about, am I going to be charged that they want me to bunt? I've been driving in big runs. Well, he gets the job done, unselfishly.
He had 4 sacrifices during the regular season. That's a perfect bunt. Now they will walk intentionally Brian Hunter with Walt Weiss on deck. Got to make sure you get it to the catcher. Turk Wendell, 2-0 count on Brian Hunter. With 1 down, by walking him, it creates the potential for a ground ball double play or a force out at any bench, at any base, rather. And there is ball 4. So the manager's managing now. Walt Weiss coming up.
This is what I talked about when I said the game was going to start to slow down again. The managers begin to take over once again after out was being made when the Braves were up 5-0.
Valentine had 5 intentional walks in Sunday's game. Adds another here. 1 down, bases loaded. Walt Weiss 0 for 2 in the game. Double play at short and second. Drawn in at first and third. Wendell grounded to first. He wants to come home. Olerud, there's 1. Piazza taken out on the hard slide. Turns around to see who that was. It was Brian Jordan. They have words. Jordan talking to Wendell and Piazza.
Now, Piazza's had a rough enough series, believe me. And you see Robin Ventura trying to calm things down. Brian Jordan's upset he was hit by a pitch. And I think the football player came out. And this is a reminiscence of his days with the Atlanta Falcons. Putting a big hit on somebody as a defensive back. He takes Piazza out of the play so he couldn't throw to first. He wasn't going to do it anyway. And Piazza looks over in his direction. Here comes Jordan trying to put a big hit on a offensive player and does so. Wow.
Yow. Terry Mulholland will be coming out of the game.
Here's the play at the plate. And Jordan doesn't go for the plate. He goes for Piazza.
Right at him. Now the announcement that Keith Lockhart is the pinch hitter will bring Dave Wallace out and a change in pitchers for the Mets. Terry Mulholland out of the game, worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up a walk. So we are going to see Maddox or Schmaltz, John Smoltz in relief for Atlanta. 5-3 Atlanta leading, and all of a sudden one heck of a game. A 5-3 lead. Atlanta trying to wrap up the National League pennant, and the Mets not going easily. This is Dennis Cook, the man who came on Sunday and threw 2 pitches to complete an intentional walk. Didn't officially face a batter, but Valentine used him that way so he could get the matchup he wanted after he took Cook out of the game. Dennis Cook was a workhorse during the season for Bobby Valentine out of the bullpen.
So we mentioned the managerial wheels starting to turn here, and Keith Lockhart is now out of the game as Bobby Cox goes to his next option, and that's to bring up Jose Hernandez, who was 1 for 12 in the postseason, 0 for 1 in this series. He batted in Game 5, in the lengthy Game 5, and struck out as a pinch hitter. Bobby
Valentine just had to come out and ask Ray Ordonez to signal the bullpen to who's going to warm up because the phone isn't working. The phone from the dugout to the bullpen's not working, and Valentine got Ordonez to signal for whoever he wanted to start throwing down there. Well, here we are with 2 down. Hernandez up. Left-hander, Kenny Rogers up. Hernandez 2 for 4 lifetime off Dennis Cook. Bases loaded, 2 away. Big moment in this game and in this series and in this season. Ball 1. Andrew Jones on with the singles at third. Hunter got the intentional pass at second. And Weiss, who hit into the fielder's choice, is on at first.
Hernandez does have some power as he faces Dennis Cook. He had 19 home runs on the regular season, 15 of them with the Chicago Cubs before coming over to Atlanta in a trade.
Hernandez, a .292 hitter off left-handers during the regular season. Lines that one into left field for a base hit. That'll score one. Henderson up. Throw will not be in time to win. And the Braves lead at 7-3. Jose Hernandez, a pinch hit, 2 RBI base hit.
Jose Hernandez, no strikeout tonight. Solid single into left field for the base hit. Scores a couple of runs. You know, when you use so many players in the course of the season, and even last game, the game 5, and he comes up one time, gets a shot, doesn't contribute to the team, you know that Jose Hernandez has to feel pretty big. He's 1 for 2 in this series. Looks like they're going to appeal that the runner missed third base, the runner from second. Well, they say that he did touch it. That would have been Brian Hunter. We can take a look ourselves. Watch Brian Hunter at the top of your screen there. He's going to attempt to score from second base on the base hit. Does he touch third? Barely, if he did. But the third base umpire was right there looking at it. That is Charlie Relaford, and he said he did touch third.
First and second, 2 down, and Gerald Williams up. So Atlanta comes right back after the Mets got 3 in the top half of the inning. The Braves have responded with 2 runs so far in their half of the 6th to take that lead back to 7-3. Runners at first and second. Gerald Williams takes it down low, 2-0.
Good hitters count for Gerald Williams, but you know, to get back to Jose Hernandez at first base, imagine coming over from the Chicago Cubs in last place most of the year, thinking I'm going nowhere, and here you are, 1 game away from going to the World Series, possibly with the Atlanta Braves, if they decide to put you on the roster.
Williams with a 2-0 count. Cook checking at second base, and he's outside, tripping as he delivered it. 3-0.
I mean, for Jose Hernandez, he spent a whole summer watching Sammy Sosa hit home runs. But that was about the only thrill they had in Chicago on the north side.
Dennis Cook struggling here to get a strike against Williams. 3-0. And he's hacking. Towering pop up to short. And Ray Ordonez puts it away. So he had the green light. 3-0, and went after a pitch out of the strike zone that would have been ball 4. Turk Wendell charged with those 2 runs in the 6th inning, but the New York Mets now down again, 7-3. Well, this one opened up Eddie Perez in the first inning, a 2 RBI single off Al Leiter. Leiter did not get anybody out. 5 runs, 2 hits off him in the inning. Edgardo Alfonso opening up the 6th inning with a double, but a big double play that ended it. When the Mets looked like they might get more, the Braves came right back and picked up 2 runs in the bottom half of the inning on the Hernandez pinch hit single. So Atlanta extends that lead back to 7-3, 7-5-0. New York 3-8-1 as we've completed 6. And for the second time in this series and in his professional career, a relief appearance by Cy Young Award winner John Smoltz. He came on in game 2, retired the side in order to get a save. The fans gave him a standing ovation as he comes out of the pen here. Matt Franco is the pinch hitter, leading it off for the Mets as he hits for Dennis Cook. Took work a third of an inning, gave up a hit, and that was it. Wendell, an inning and 2/3, 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 intentional pass, and 1 strikeout and a hit batter. John Smoltz, Franco takes it down low, 2-1.
I hope fans took note when John Smoltz and Greg Maddox were warming up side by side. You don't see that very often.
Maybe never before.
Maybe never again.
Franco, their premier pinch hitter, fouls that off.
And Gary, I can't help but think between them they have 378 wins and 1 save. John Smoltz has that.
There's Maddox, 4-time Cy Young Award winner. Available in the bullpen. And that one towards right center field. Andrew Jones will not get to it. Matt Franco on his way to second base. Ball bobbled, but not a long enough time for him to move over to third. So Franco here in the 7th inning leads it off with a 2-bagger for New York. Franco was tied for 4th in most pinch hits in the National League.
Anytime you hit a ball beyond Andrew Jones's reach, you have really hit it hard. Remember, I said he plays very shallow, so you got to hit line drives to the gap. And you see right away how shallow he is. Maybe playing a step towards left center field. Still, he got closer than a lot of center fielders would to this ball. And Franco will be held to a double. So the Mets not going quietly here in Atlanta.
Ricky Henderson, Mets are now out hitting the Braves 9-5 in this game. But the Braves have the 7-3 lead. Henderson 1 for 3. A single came in the first inning. Mets have left 5 on base, 2 in scoring position tonight. Smoltz inside to him, 2-0, wants a new ball. Mets must win or their season is over. Atlanta can wrap it up here in game 6. 2-1.
What Ricky Henderson is trying to do is work his way on base against John Smoltz. When he got ahead 2 balls and no strikes, you notice he did not come right back and swing at the first strike. What he's trying to do is make Smoltz work. Mets need base runners. They need at least a couple more men off.
3-1.
And Ricky is about as good as anybody at milking the count. 3rd on the all-time list of drawing base on balls.
Smoltz 11-8 during the regular season in 29 starts. Walked only 40 in 186 innings. Henderson down the line and a fair ball. Matt Franco will score. Henderson's on his way to second base. Williams gets it in. And the Mets right back at him. 7-4 now. 4th double of the game for New York.
Ricky Henderson with his 2nd hit of the night. Fastball right in the middle of the plate. And he just jacks it into the corner. See that bat coming up to meet the ball? And a line drive over the head of Chipper Jones. Next stop, left field corner. And next stop is a run for the Mets.
That is Henderson's first RBI in this series. The Mets have had the leadoff man on 4 of the 7 innings. That makes it tough to pitch. Matt Franco delivered the pinch hit double to lead it off, and he scored. Alfonso fouls it off, and a 2-strike count. He had a double leading off the 6th inning.
Even if Alfonso does not drive in Ricky Henderson, the Mets are getting down to the latter stages of the game. He has to at least get him over to third base with 1 out.
Alfonso has been a tough out for Smoltz. 278, 10 for 36 in his career against John Smoltz with 1 home run. 2nd relief appearance ever for the Braves right-hander. 1-2 delivery. In the air to right field. Pretty good Wood. Back is Jordan at the wall. Right at the wall. tagging up Henderson. He'll move over to third.
This is a big ballpark because there's a lot of parks that would have been a home run. Alfonso got good wood on it and drove it out towards that 390 sign. That pitch was up, out over the plate. He drives it, and as we mentioned, he at least gets Ricky Henderson over to third base with one out. And the way the Braves are going to play it, they're going to keep the infield back to give up this ground ball run if Olerud can get the run in. He doesn't strike out very much for a power hitter.
Ball one to John Olerud.
And right now, the Mets are one man from being on base to having the tying run come to the plate.
Olerud, a good postseason. 1 for 3 in this game.
Bobby Cox thought that last pitch was a strike.
1-0 delivery. Down into right field, a base hit for John Olerud. 7-5. That is the 11th hit for the Mets in this game. And Olerud's got 2 of them as he is 2 for 4. And they're right back in it again. John Olerud gets his 6th RBI of the series.
The Mets had 11 hits in Game 5, but it took them 15 innings to do it. They have 11 in 6 1/3 innings tonight. Solid base hit in the left field, and now the Mets do have the tying run at the plate. That dugout is coming alive.
And if Piazza is going to break out of his slump, what a time it would be for him to do it. 0 for 2 tonight, 3 for 22 in the series. Al Leiter, the starter, who gave up the 5 runs and 2 hits and no part of an inning watching. Piazza, a .220 hitter off Smoltz with 2 home runs and 50 lifetime at bats. Smoltz stays away and misses. 2-0.
Good hitters count. A count where Mike Piazza has made a pretty good living over the years. 2-0 and 3-1.
Rick Reed, who would start Game 7, hoping. Piazza rifles it foul as Smoltz came towards the inside part of the plate. You sense a little pensiveness amongst the folks in Atlanta. Have picked up that runner in scoring position, number 4 for 7 tonight. Big hits. Piazza drives it to right field. Way back at 390. And goodbye home run. A 2-run shot. The Mets have tied the game at 7. More home runs to the opposite field than any other hitter in the majors. And he will never forget this one.
When the count got to 2-0, John Smoltz threw a fastball that Mike Piazza fouled off. He threw him another one. He did not miss it. That little pose at home plate there tells you he knows he got enough. A hitter, when he hits the ball that well, he knows the ball is not going to stay in the ballpark. The game is tied.
A 3 RBI game now for Mike Piazza, who has 4 RBIs in this series. His first home run of the series, and John Smoltz, a third of an inning, 4 runs, 4 hits, and Al Leiter, incredibly, his non-decision in this game plants a smacker on the hitting coach's cheek. And it is a 7-7 game. I mean, this is a shocker.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
It's a shocker because you figure with a 5-0 lead and Kevin Millwood on the mound, you're home free. There was just too much time left after scoring 5 in the first. It had that sound when he hit it, didn't it?
Piazza is so strong in the upper body that he can drive those shots. His 3rd career home run in 51 at-bats off John Smoltz. And it is indeed nail-biting time in Atlanta, Georgia. So one of the other things that happens, Kenny, in bringing Smoltz in, not only is he not successful here, but the team and the crowd were at a high when he came out of the bullpen. And now, when you have that high lost, you start going back to the depths.
Well, you're not used to seeing John Smoltz being hit this hard. I mean, every ball the Mets hit was hit hard this inning, including the fly ball to right field by Alfonso, which was driven deep to the warning track. So the Mets have a home run, 2 doubles, a solid single, and a long fly ball this inning to tie the ball game.
So here we are back to the bullpens, and if that advantage holds up, it's a Mets advantage. 7-7 game, 12 hits now for New York, only 5 for the Braves. Mike Remlinger has come out of the bullpen. He has been outstanding this year for the Braves. Even though in the league championship series he's taken a loss, he has been effective. And Robin Ventura is up, and we've got a whole new ball game with 4 runs in here in the top of the 7th inning. No team has ever come back in postseason from a 3-0 deficit to win a best-of-7 series. 2 National Hockey League teams did that. The '75 Islanders, the last one to accomplish that feat. The New York Islanders, an NHL team. 1-1. Breaking ball is in. 1-2. Irony every time Mike Remlinger comes in is that he is a former Met. 1-2 delivered to Ventura outside. I asked Remlinger before the game, what is the big difference this year that your numbers are so much better? He said, this is the team I chose to come with. I feel so fortunate to be pitching here in Atlanta, and I have learned by watching and talking to these starters. Deep to right field. Jordan is back at the wall with roll. 2 down.
Robin Ventura is getting his stroke back. He hit that solid line drive single for the game winner at Shea Stadium. And here he just misses. Just underneath it enough. Maybe 1/8 of an inch on the bat. That it wasn't a line drive. It was a high fly ball. Had a good sound to it. He got it on the barrel of the bat. But remember what I said. This is a big ballpark here in Atlanta.
Darrell Hamilton on a check swing went after it. Strike 1. My, oh, my, oh, my. We came into this game and neither team had generated 5 runs in a game. Both have scored 7 in this one. 1-1.
Gary, you had the feeling. I mean, these teams didn't get here by pitching alone. They can score runs. It just wasn't happening. But you eventually, the hitter's going to start to come around. You don't make good pitches, they're going to hit them.
Mike Remlinger, the 1-1 delivery, grounded to first base. Brian Hunter. It's a 7th inning stretch, but it's not the way Atlanta thought it was going to be when this half inning started. The Mets come back with 4 runs, a Piazza 2-run homer highlighting it, and all of a sudden, in this must-win game for New York, they have tied it up 7-7. Great to have you with us around the world. Major League Baseball International Game 6. The New York Mets trying to write the most incredible story ever and go to a Game 7. If they do, we will be here tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, midnight Greenwich Mean. The Braves can wrap it up with a victory here tonight. The Mets can do what no team has ever done. That's fall behind 3-0 and even go to a Game 7, much less win it. Perez and the Braves wondering what happened. Oral Hershiser will be the Mets' 5th pitcher, 41-year-old veteran who had a fine relief performance a day ago. Breaking ball into a strike to Boone. He worked 3 1/3 innings in that 15-inning ball game, giving up no runs and a hit. Red Boone 0 for 2, a walk and a run scored. Breaking ball outside, 1-1.
Now in the 6th inning, when the Mets scored 3 times, the Braves answered with 2. This is a big inning for the Mets because the Braves are lined up with their big hitters. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 right through the order. Hershiser is going to have to shut them down.
Towards second base, Alfonso was playing over towards the bag. Gets the first out in the Braves 7th.
Gary, we noted in between innings that the Mets have scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings. It had taken them 23 innings to score their previous 7 runs.
Bunches. Chipper Jones hit by a pitch and scored in the first, single in the 3rd. 1 for 2. Chipper Jones. Breaking ball misses inside, ball 1. Hershiser is being asked to work 1 inning. Bobby Cox in somewhat disbelief over there. Klesko available on the bench as a pinch hitter. Bobby Valentine, his pinch hitters have worked here. Franco a big double to lead off the 7th. 2-0 on Chipper Jones. Jones has big numbers against Hershiser, 5 for 14 with 2 home runs. Don Baylor, their hitting coach, and Bobby Cox looking, hoping the offense can get going. They're being out hit 12-5 in this game.
To count 3 balls and no strikes, it's not a given that Chipper Jones will be taking. If I'm Hershiser, I'm thinking down and away.
And he went after it, 3-0. Alfonso. There's a big out. Brian Jordan with 2 down. Ian Piazza got even closer in his last at bat. He got thrown out at the plate, flipped Mike Piazza, and knocked him down, sliding in.
Neither one of them said anything while he was walking to the plate.
They stared at each other. 2 down, bases empty. Fly ball to right field. Benny Agbayani and Oral Hershiser asked to give him an inning. Threw 8 pitches and got 3 outs. We've completed 7 in Game 6. We go to the 8th inning with the game tied. Heck of a game. 7-7 going to the 8th inning. This copyrighted telecast of property, the Office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Do we know these people? Use your telestrator.
Well, we know Paul Beeston right here. We know Tim Brosnan right here.
Tim Brosnan, Major League Baseball International, our boss there, and Paul Beeston, the boss of everybody else except the commissioner. Hershiser got it done. 3 outs. We go to the 8th inning. Benny Agbayani came on as a pinch hitter, drew a walk. Mike Remlinger. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Brian Jordan, long run. Agbayani, big turn, will hold. Throw back to first behind him. Not in time. And again, the Mets get the leadoff man on base. Benny Agbayani with a single. 5 out of 8 innings, the leadoff man's been on.
This one's not hit well. Off the end of the bat, kind of squibbed down the right field line, but it's going to fall in fair territory. Brian Jordan hustling over, holds this to a single. Benny Agbayani's thinking double. Mookie Wilson said, "Where are you? Get back here. Where are you going?" Mookie, the first base coach.
Remlinger against Ray Ordonez. The sacrifice, he got it down. Remlinger will tag him out. But a sacrifice, so he's 1 for 4 in this series in that department. One away, potential go-ahead run at second base.
You know, Ordonez is thinking, finally, I got one down. Keep trying enough. Eventually it's going to fall. Another fairly high pitch, but he gets the bunt down this time. Pitchers like to keep the ball elevated because those balls are usually tough to get on the ground. Remlinger will make the play by himself, but the Mets have the potential go-ahead run out at second base.
Hershiser out of the game as Melvin Mora will come on as the pinch hitter. Mora has had a big say in this postseason for New York after playing most of the regular season at the minors. He has had 4 hits and 12 at-bats in this series. Hershiser, 3 up, 3 down. Now Mora. Mora went just 2 for 17 against left-handers in the regular season. Remlinger's pitch is down low for a ball. Benny Agbayani at second base has decent speed. John Franco up in the bullpen for the Mets. He's a big guy, but runs well. Mora looking for the go-ahead RBI in the 8th inning. And he's got a base hit. Andrew Jones over. And Agbayani scores. And the Mets, who trailed 5-0 after the first inning, lead at 8-7. GM of the Mets, Steve Phillips. You think his heart isn't pounding? Ordonez set it up with a sac bunt.
Bobby Valentine has used everybody on his bench but Todd Pratt. And his last 2 pinch hitters have come up with big hits. Matt Franco and now Melvin Mora. Andrew Jones cuts it off, but Agbayani. The Mets lead 8-7. They were down 5-0 and 7-3 in this game.
Look at him celebrate. Mora gets his second postseason RBI. Wow. Bobby Cox really stunned over there. His staff punched up for 14 hits. Bobby Valentine saying to Ordonez, "See, you can help us." The pitching staff of Atlanta, 8 runs on 14 hits. Ricky Henderson takes it down low for a ball.
In tight ball games, little things mean a lot. And Ray Ordonez finally getting the bunt down, set up the go-ahead run.
Seven New York, 1 out. Henderson an RBI double. It came in the 7th inning. Henderson put up big numbers against left-handers. 343 off left-handers. There's pinch hitter Matt Franco, who kicked it off with a double in the 7th inning as a pinch hitter. Came around to score. Postseason, Henderson numbers moving up. Remlinger now the pitcher of record for the Atlanta Braves. Anderson in the off speed, 1-1. These teams have played 4 consecutive games in which the winning team has won by 1 run. That has happened only 2 other times in postseason history. 72 A's and Reds and the 1915 Red Sox and Phillies. And we've got another one-run game here. Henderson on the breaking ball, down and away, 1-2. Kevin Millwood wondering what happened. He was cruising along and it all fell apart. Mike Remlinger checking at first. 1-2 delivery, bounced it right into the chest of Eddie Perez. Rick Reed, the only pitcher not available for the Mets, because he would start Game 7 tomorrow if there is one. Mookie Wilson, first base coach, talking to Melvin Mora. Two-two delivery to Henderson. 3-2.
The count going 3-2 now. Melvin Mora has a chance to be on the move with Ricky Henderson at the plate. And with Mora's speed, a base hit would probably chase him all the way to third base.
One out. Mora at first. Timeout taken, no pitch. Henderson wanted a timeout.
Watch Ricky call time and slow Remlinger down.
A Braves fan was quoted in the paper today as saying, when they win the Braves, it's more like you're relieved than joyful. You see why. Broken back, ground ball to short. Walt Weiss, force at second. Got him. Fine play by the Atlanta shortstop to get Mora on a fielder's choice for Henderson.
After all the pitches away from Remlinger, he comes inside on Ricky Henderson, which means that Ricky's going to have to swing the bat a little bit quicker. The bat is broken. Mora took a false step backwards on the delivery of Remlinger, thinking he was going to throw over to first base. And that was the difference in the play at second.
Little things, Kenny. 2 down. Edgardo Alfonso, Henderson at first, outside for a ball.
This is the 24th time in which a team has taken a 3-0 lead in the series, meaning the Atlanta Braves in this championship series. But only one team has fought back to get to 6 games. One team in 24 times.
And it was none other than the Atlanta Braves last year against the San Diego Padres. But they lost Game 6. The Mets are the second team to do it, and they are leading Game 6, 8-7. Swung on a miss. Throw Perez. Look out. Hit the base runner. That may be a break for the Atlanta Braves. Perez's throw, a bouncer. No chance to get Henderson, but it hit him. Henderson is down on the bag. Bobby Valentine and Fred Hino, the trainer, coming out, as well as Rojas and Wilson, the base coaches.
You know, one thing a lot of great base stealers will tell you, and one thing to remember about Ricky Henderson, he's in great shape to be stealing all these bases at his age. He's 40 years old. But a lot of times, early in careers, great base stealers will steal a lot of bases, and then they tail off dramatically. Ricky just kept right on going. And one of the things that base stealers will tell you, there is a fear of the bag. When you get there, you got to put the brakes on in a hurry, and that bag can hurt when you hit it. All that sliding, all that running hard, All that sliding beats up a ball player. To be stealing as many bases as Ricky Henderson has in his career. And he just keeps right on going. See, the bag's not going to move. You jar your wrist, you jar your fingers.
2 ball, 1 strike count. A huge run out there. Alfonso. Ricky Henderson wants to play 5 more years.
That's going to be unbelievable.
And the record he wants belongs to Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb is the all-time leader in runs scored, 2,245. Henderson has 2,114. Ricky wants that record. 3-1. Walker. Remlinger, the first walk he has surrendered, comes with 2 down here in the 8th. Mets have scored the go-ahead run, lead at 8-7. 2 on with John Olerud coming up.
Yeah, once he got behind Alfonso, he's going to be careful with a base open. But Olerud has proven over the years he can hit left-handers too.
See what he does here. 247 off lefties, 318 off righties during the regular season for John Olerud. 2 on, 2 out. Went around, strike 1. Charlie Relaford, third base umpire, calling the check swing.
You know, with the Mets coming into this game, they had the momentum. The Braves took it away in the first inning by going up 5-0. There's the check swing. He did go around. When you look at the Braves dugout now, you see some concern. When they were up 3-0, they didn't think that they would be in this position. The momentum has swung back to the New York Mets here. You look at the different dugouts, you see different looks. The Braves haven't won in a while. They're wondering if they've forgotten how to do it.
They've had a 5-run lead, 5-0. They have had a 5-3 lead. They have had a 7-3 lead. They don't have it anymore. They trail by 1. A 1 ball, 2 strike count on John Olerud. The winningest pitcher in postseason history, John Smoltz. 4 runs off him in a third of an inning. 1-2 delivered. Olerud the inside out to left field. Gerald Williams will end the inning. About a run on a couple of hits. 2 are left on. But the Atlanta Braves, for the first time in this game, find themselves down as Mora delivered the RBI single. Benny Agbayani scoring. Mets up by 1. Delighted to have you with us. Major League Baseball International, and another great game. Leiter, who started this game on the left, Oral Hershiser, perfect inning in relief on the right. The Mets are on top. Say, if you're still trying to make the major leagues, log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com. The site gives you video highlights, live game audio. You can play online fantasy video games and purchase the latest clothing at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com, and we invite you to email us here at the game at feedback@MajorLeagueBaseball.com. And we want to thank David King, who did in fact email us. He is from Australia, Tamworth. He wanted to know the meaning of the emblem on the Braves sleeve. Switch in the outfield. Agbayani goes over to left field. Morris stays in the game at right. David, when we get a shot of that Braves sleeve, we'll tell you. There you see the emblem. That is honoring a former Brave, Hank Aaron. This is the celebration this year for Hank Aaron, the 25th anniversary of his 715th home run, becoming the all-time leader on homers hit. Number 44's number, retired here in Atlanta. So in honor of the 25th anniversary of that momentous home run, they've worn that patch on their sleeve.
The Hammer, Hank Aaron.
And he still works here in the front office for the Atlanta Braves. So David King, thanks for the email.
A lot of people can tell you where they were when he hit that home run.
Know where I was?
I was in a hotel in Pittsburgh watching it on TV.
I was at home on my couch. Andrew Jones. Can the Atlanta Braves come back and finish it off? John Franco is on in relief for the Mets.
Franco is used to closing out games, over 400 saves. Well, he lost that job with an injury this year to Armando Benitez.
This inside 1-1.
But John knows all he's in there for is to get 3 outs here in the 8th inning. And there's Benitez, who took over as the closer after Franco was injured earlier this year.
Andrew Jones, ground ball. Ray Ordonez on the big hop. Jones retired. 1 away.
Braves are down to 5 outs. We talked about baseball as a game with no clock, but those outs are like seconds on the clock as they tick away. One of them is gone.
I mean, this is a catastrophe for Atlanta if they lose this game. It has never happened before in Major League Baseball postseason history to have a 3-0 lead and then have to go to a 7th game. And it's not happened yet. Perez, a 2 RBI single in the first inning. 1 for 2 and a sacrifice tonight. Franco's 0-1 delivery to him is inside 1-1.
See, Atlanta fans are well aware of Armando Benitez being in the bullpen and warming up. We had mentioned the other day that he had pitched the equivalent of a perfect game against the Atlanta Braves. All the hitters he has faced over a number of games, he had retired 27 in a row. So they know he's down there.
And they don't want to see him trailing. They don't want to come up against him trailing in the game. 2-1 strike count on Perez. 8-7 Mets. 8th inning. Hunter on deck. Franco in that inside corner. 2-2.
John Franco has an excellent off-speed pitch, but he also has enough of a fastball left in that left arm to get it to the inside corner for a strike. See, Eddie Perez leaning out over the plate makes that inside corner look like it's inside. He's expecting the ball away from Franco.
Two delivery, and that's going to be a base hit into left field. Agbayani. So with 1 away in the 8th inning, the Braves get the potential tying run to first base.
Question for Bobby Valentine. Does he go to Benitez here in the 8th inning? We've seen the other manager in New York, Joe Torre, go to Mariano Rivera in the 8th inning in the American League Championship Series. The Braves have the tying run on. No move by Valentine yet.
He'd probably do it with 2 down and hope Franco can get the second out here. They're in the bottom part of the order. Otis Nixon comes on as the pinch runner for Perez. Nixon has outstanding speed. Would you run here in the 8th inning? Down a run.
I think you got to trust a guy who has stolen more bases this decade than anybody else, even more than Ricky Henderson.
1 stolen base in this series. Not going. Hunter swings and misses. Strike 1. That's the pitch John Franco has made a living on against right-handers. It has a screwball effect. It goes down and away, even though he's a left-hander, with a pitch that normally would come in on right-handers and make it more hittable. He's got a pitch that tails down and away.
And if you try and do too much with it, all you're going to get is a swing and a miss.
Hunter looking to break out of the offer that he's got going. Bobby Cox's bats have gone quiet. They have 7 runs in this game, but only 6 hits. Perez out of into the ball game for a pinch runner. Nixon not going. Faked it. He took 2 steps.
You mentioned the 7 runs on 6 hits, and that's a good point. Even though the Braves scored 5 in the first, it wasn't really their offense. It was the inefficiency of Al Leiter, the starter for the Mets. They only got 5 runs on 2. They got 5 runs on 2 singles. So it wasn't as if the Braves offense was really clicking in this game.
Leiter, the starter, who gave up the 5 runs on 2 hits in the first. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Hunter. Hunter's 3 for 8 against Franco, including a home run in his career. Delivery turned him. 2-2.
You know, if the Mets do go on and win this ball game, Al Leiter might get the biggest mulligan ever in sports history. A do-over.
Howard battle on deck, meaning he got away with one if they win this game. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Nixon at first. Hunter chops it foul.
The
Mets
danger.
have used 6 pitchers in this game now.
Everybody's available. They got to win.
Remlinger, pitcher of record for Atlanta.
And you know what? The same will apply tomorrow if the Mets win this one, but with a difference. It'll be both teams. Everybody is available.
Everybody. No with the starter. Nixon goes inside the throw. Off the mark into center field. Nixon gets up. He'll head to third. I'll tell you one thing, Brian Hunter, the hitter, did everything he could to prevent Mike Piazza from making a clean throw, and it worked again. Stolen base and an error.
Yeah, but he is within his rights if he stays in the batter's box, and that's exactly where he was. The pitch is inside. So Mike Piazza, watch him duck. Piazza with the throw, and the error on the throw again. Nixon goes to third, and the Braves have the tying run at third base with 1 out.
4 stolen bases with 1 down. The infield is in. 3-2 to Hunter. And that's going to be to center field. Base hit. Game is tied. Nixon scores. 8-8. His first hit of the playoffs for Brian Hunter.
It wasn't so much the stolen base. We mentioned that Nixon has stolen more bases this decade. It was the throwing error that got him to third. It might have changed the pitching pattern. Franco goes with his signature pitch, that down and away slider or that down and away breaker, and Hunter goes out and gets it. Good piece of hitting. Nixon to tag up just in case the center fielder makes the catch. That is not the case. The ball falls in and the game is tied.
This amazing series that will not die goes on. Walt Weiss, runner at first, 1 out. Squares to bunt. Ball 1. John Franco kind of tripped after he delivered that pitch and bounced as though he twisted an ankle a little bit.
Here's a look at that last pitch, and you see Franco come off the mound, maybe stepped in a hole.
Popped up foul. Boy, bunts have been hard to come by in this one. Bobby Cox with a sign. Frustrated. Look at him. That Weiss not getting the bunt down. This is for the potential game-running run at second base.
Well, he's got the pitcher's spot up next. He's going to pinch hit anyway. Why not lay down a bunt get the runner in the scoring position with a chance to drive in the go-ahead run.
1-1 on Weiss. Squares, drops a good one. Franco's got to go to first, and Alfonso held the bag. Edgardo Alfonso coming over to cover. Sacrifice for Weiss. Hunter goes to second with 2 down.
Ed Montague with a good call because he was in good position to make the call. If we can see him on this replay, as Weiss does get the bunt down, it's a pretty good one. Franco almost throws this away and pulls Alfonso off the bag. Watch Montague at the top of your screen circle around. He'll get in position to make the call. He lets Alfonso clear, then he comes around. He's got a good look, and he sees that Alfonso has his left foot on the bag. That's a look at how an umpire gets in position to make the proper call.
Now with 2 down, Howard Battle will come to the plate. Howard Battle, 10 different minor league teams in 10 years. At the end of this season, came through with enormous hits for them. And that one he fouls back. Battle got a couple of game-winning RBIs at the end of the year. For this Atlanta ball club, a most unlikely person to do it. And now he's got a chance here in the 8th inning to put his team on top in Game 6. John Franco with the 0-1 count and 2 down. Battle ended up with 5 RBIs in just 17 at-bats after coming up from AAA Richmond. He had 24 home runs at AAA. He's got power and hit for 284. John Sherholtz, GM here, watching. Battle went after one out of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, when you're making your team up for playoff situations, you have people like Otis Nixon on your bench. Somebody who can come in, steal a base, score a big run for you. You also have guys like Howard Battle, who've maybe been in the minor leagues most of the year, but have had good years, and they've shown you something when they came up in September. You add them to the roster in the playoffs, and Battle has come through for the Braves in the past.
1-2 delivery to him, swung on and missed. Franco strikes him out. However, the Atlanta Braves in the 8th inning, 1 run, 2 hits, a base runner left on, and as it should be in this series. 8 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors for New York. 8 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Atlanta. An 8-8 game, 9th inning. The Mets must win to take it to Game 7, and here comes John Rocker.
Well, John Rocker pitching tonight, but this is what happened to his car yesterday. It was totaled. He was driving at the time, so it's amazing that he's on the mound here tonight at Turner Field. He's looking for a new vehicle if anybody out there has one for sale. Obviously, he was wearing his seatbelt.
Accident happened yesterday. It was the big discussion around the ballpark. How's Rocker? He arrived, said, "I'm fine." What a series. Greg Myers is now catching. Rocker's on for the 5th time in this series. A run on 2 hits and 4 2/3 inning against him by the Mets. He has struck out 8 and walked 1. Mike Piazza leads it off in the 9th. 8-8 game. A must-win for the Mets to extend it to Game 7. If Atlanta can win it, they go to the World Series against the Yankees starting here on Saturday. First pitch popped up. Third base, Chipper Jones. John Rocker, a new respect for the New York Mets. He may battle with the fans, but when it comes to the Mets team,
we've thought we've gotten rid of them so many times this year to only have them keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back, and we finally want to knock them off, once and for all.
Well, maybe not as easy as they thought.
Got a big out there at Piazza, who delivered that home run in the 7th inning. Robin Ventura. Ventura's 0 for 6. Lifetime off Rocker. 24-year-old left-hander coming on to try and retire the Mets. Keep the game tied. Inside to Ventura, 1-1.
Bobby Valentine was talking the other day about splitting up his left-handed hitters. Valentine make that Ventura and Olerud. Well, right here in this spot kind of favors the Braves, but Ventura and then Hamilton, the next 2 hitters for the Mets, back-to-back lefties, who were putting the lineup that way because Kevin Millwood started.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Bobby Ventura, the hero of Sunday's game, with that grand single. Drove in the winning run.
I still can't get over that.
A 2-1 count. I don't know that we maybe Kenny ought to explain that. I don't know that we really did. He hit a grand slam home run, but he never got to second base because he got mobbed by his teammates, starting with Todd Pratt, between first and second. You must touch all the bases to have it counted as a home run. He never got to do that.
Yeah, but the important thing for the Mets was that Roger Cedeno did come home from third.
Now they're towering pop up the center. Weiss. Off a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 2 down.
Here's the priceless moment, brought to you by MasterCard, and it's Mike Piazza in the 7th inning, the game-tying home run, but maybe this is a priceless moment. Mickey Brantley, hey, what's going on here? No kissing in baseball.
He got non-decision as the Mets tied it up, and Leiter couldn't help himself. 2 down. Darrell Hamilton. He's approaching that 100-mile-an-hour fastball right now. John Rocker almost unhittable during the season. Left-handers hit 140 and right-handers 191.
That last fastball was clocked at 96 miles an hour. Those are the type that when they come to the plate, you can hear them a lot better than you can see them. They kind of hiss as they go through the air.
2 ball, 1 strike count on Hamilton. 8-8, 9th inning.
You get a nice humid night where the air is heavy. Somebody's throwing a fastball that hard. It sounds like bacon frying as it comes to the plate. Kind of sizzles.
Pitch to Hamilton. Left field. Williams. The Atlanta Braves will come to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning with the top of their order and a chance to win the National League pennant. Major League Baseball International's presentation of the 1999 National League Championship Series is being brought to you by MasterCard. Well, all around the world, delighted to have you with us here in Atlanta. Hope you are enjoying and feeling what is going on here. The emotions running the gamut up and down and back again for both of these teams and their fans. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 1 run and Atlanta will go to the World Series, but they're going to have to do it against Armando Benitez.
Mets also making another change behind the plate. It is Todd Pratt.
Piazza out of the game. There is Todd Pratt, the last position player the Mets had on the bench. They have used everybody. And there's Armando Benitez.
Well, Bobby Valentine think that Benitez can hold them long enough for his team to score a run. This is the whole season for the Mets in the bottom of the ninth here.
And a 2-0 count on Gerald Williams.
If I'm Gerald Williams here, I'm going to take another pitch. Benitez has yet to throw a strike after coming out of the bullpen.
Williams, Boone, and Chipper Jones. 1, 2, 3 in the order. Due up for Atlanta. Ball 3.
Now you know he's taking.
Straight down the middle.
He took something off. Didn't throw it as hard. That was only 95. Benitez was ready to throw, and Gerald Williams stepped out, trying to throw off his rhythm.
Benitez likes to work in a hurry. 3-1, 3-2. Williams trying to make a walk happen, but
These are the get-it-over fastballs for Benitez. That one was 93. In other words, he's not throwing it as hard so he can get it over the plate. He's thinking that Williams is going to be taken. That's a strike.
Bobby Cox thought it was a ball. Fouled it off. Williams 3 for 9 off Benitez.
Remember talking to Benitez the other day at Shea Stadium in New York. He said that Gerald Williams, one of the tougher Braves for him to get out because he has a quick bat.
Two starters have watched a lot of baseball. 3-2 delivery. Williams a chopper. Robin Ventura. Leadoff man retired.
Too anxious to hit. That was ball 4. That is not the type of swing you want on a 3-2 pitch. Watch him flail away at a pitch that's down here. I mean, that is well out of the strike zone. And with Gerald Williams' speed, that's what you're looking for, a walk. You know, not necessarily a hit. You got to get on to get something going.
So bring up Brett Boone. Now Boone is a batter who would have a lot of problems against Armando Benitez. He has a longer swing. Harder to get the bat out on these fastballs. He is 0 for 4 against Benitez.
See, what means he has to start the bat a little quicker, but he's also more apt to swing and miss at the bad pitch because he's committed himself.
A lot of praying going on here. 0-2 foul back off the fist. 2-strike count. Benitez, like Rocker, throws those pitches in the mid-90s, those fastballs. Atlanta Braves 5-0 in the first inning. Mets made it 5-3 in the 6th. Braves got 2 in that inning themselves. Went back on top 7-3. Mets got 4 runs in the 7th inning to tie it. Mets got a run in the 8th to take the lead. Braves came back in the bottom of the 8th and tied the game. Chased one up high. 1-2. You don't have much time to make a decision on Armando Benitez.
98 miles an hour. On an average fastball, you have about 1/10 of a second to decide whether to swing the bat, whether it's a ball or a strike, and then hit it.
Did he go? He foul tipped, held on to by Pratt. Strikeout recorded by Armando Benitez, and there are 2 down. And here's a confrontation.
Looked like a split finger fastball. It's headed down. Boone just ticked it with the bat, and Pratt held on. That is a strikeout for Armando Benitez, who is a strikeout pitcher. The key for him this inning was getting Gerald Williams out after falling behind 3 balls and no strikes. But he's not out of it yet.
How about this for a way to go? Bottom of the 9th inning. 2 down. Game tied. Chipper Jones against Armando Benitez. Everybody up. Ball 1. Braves fans praying for a long ball off the bat of their third baseman. Mets fans, any way to get him out. Ball 2.
Chipper Jones, 7 home runs against Met pitching this year. And the way Benitez has gone after him the first 2 pitches, it looks like almost one of those unintentional, intentional walks.
Ball 3, stayed away on all 3, 3-0.
The key for Chipper Jones here, I'm sure he's hitting 3 balls and no strikes, but it has to be right there in his wheelhouse where he can get his best and quickest swing.
It wasn't. So in a hurry, Armando Benitez surrenders the walk. 2 down, Jones on, and Jordan coming up.
See what Brian Jordan has done tonight, but in this series, he's connected a couple of times. Here in Atlanta. Home run to put the Braves in the lead. Or I should say tied the game. And then in New York, this one gave the Braves the lead momentarily.
Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, goes out to talk to Todd Pratt, the catcher, and Benitez. The largest crowd in Turner Field history. 52,335 on hand tonight. Jordan fouls it back.
One thing to watch out for here, Chipper Jones has had a tremendous year, not only with the bat, but on the bases. He stole 25 bases. He might want to try and get himself in the scoring position. Benitez did not have a good move to first base. He does get the ball to the home plate quickly, though, with the fastball.
There he goes. Strike. Throw. Not in time. Stolen base. Stolen bases in this game for the Braves.
They want to find out the count at home plate. Look at the high leg kick. Look how high he brings his leg up before delivering the ball. Pitch is in there for a called strike. So it's 0-2 on the hitter Jordan. As you can see, Chipper Jones is in easily with a stolen base.
Todd Pratt wishing, but it didn't happen. 2-strike count, 2 down. Brian Jordan 0 for 2 off Benitez. Outside for a ball, 1-2. A base hit. And Atlanta goes to the World Series. The outfield comes in a couple of steps.
The best arm belongs to the right fielder, Mora.
1-2 delivery. Right field. Foul. Brian Jordan scored, picked up an RBI single in the first inning, hit by a pitch in the 6th. Jordan takes it down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's not going after those pitches out of the strike zone.
Well, Game 5 was maybe a game for the ages in length, 5 hours and 46 minutes, but there was a distinct lack of offense, at least getting people home. In this game, they've been getting people home. So that's why when a runner gets in scoring position tonight, you can almost sense that, you know, he has got a better than average chance of scoring. at Shea Stadium the other night, you didn't think they were going to get anybody home.
This game just takes it. This series takes everything to the extreme. 3-2, 2 down, 9th inning. Game tied, 8-8. Career high 115 RBIs for Jordan during the regular season. 3-2 delivery. Jordan, check swing is gone, and we're going to go to the 10th. Armando Benitez with 2 strikeouts in the 9th inning, and the Braves leave the potential winning run on at second base. Extra innings, 8. Well, here we go again. Second extra inning ball game in this series, as Armando Benitez got 2 strikeouts, left the potential winning run at second base. And Rick Reed on the right is scheduled to start game 7 if there is one, and Al Leiter who started game 6.
Already pumping him up. Yeah, pumping him up, huh?
Leiter has been the #1 cheerleader over there. And Greg Maddux warming up in the bullpen. John Rocker will pitch 1 more inning. If it goes beyond that, Maddux will pitch. Benny Agbayani, strike 1. Rocker retired the side in order in the 9th. The Mets have Benny Agbayani, Ray Ordonez, and Todd Pratt due up. Pratt is hitting 9th and catcher. Breaking ball that time, 1-1. John Smoltz, who came into this game a third of an inning, 4 runs, 4 hits in just his second relief appearance ever. 1-1. Up high, 2-1. Bear in mind, Atlanta during the regular season had a tremendous 17-5 record in extra inning games, while the Mets went 6-5. But it's the Mets who won on Sunday in extra. 2-2.
Agbayani got it started in the 8th inning when the Mets got their go-ahead run at 8-7, a leadoff single.
Piazza's out of the game, watching. Piazza, a big 3 RBI ball game, including a home run for 2 in the 7th inning. Two delivery, way up high, 3-2.
Agbayani can't be too anxious. A walk would put him on again. And from Rocker's standpoint, as hard as he throws, he's got to think, throw it right down the middle as hard as they can and hope for the best. You don't want to walk the leadoff guy.
And he does. Just the 3rd walk today. 1 by Mulholland, 1 by Remlinger, and now 1 by Rocker. And the leadoff man is on in the 10th inning.
Can Ordonez do it again?
Lay down a bunt.
He sacrificed last time. Got Agbayani to second, where he came around to score the go-ahead run. You got to believe Bobby Valentine's going to ask him to do the same thing again.
Going to play for 1 run clearly. Had 11 sacrifices during the year. Ray Ordonez try and move Agbayani up. And that'll go foul. Strike 1 on Ordonez.
Looking back at the bunt that got the job done, that led to the go-ahead run. There's the tag for the out.
Chipper Jones already way in at 3rd. Hunter has to hold the bag on the runner, then charge in. Ordonez wants Hunter to have to handle at the first baseman. throw over and Agbayani back. If Ordonez bunted towards third, there's a chance, because Chipper Jones is so far in, that he could get the out at second base.
See, Hunter has to come from a further direction to get the ball. He has to hold the runner closely.
0-1 delivery. They charge. Popped up. Got the out. And Ordonez does not get it done. For the fourth time in this series. Fails to execute a sacrifice.
Bunting is becoming a lost art in the major leagues. And it's because the players concentrate so much on their hitting, they don't work on their bunting anymore. And when you get into tight ball games, we mentioned that little things like getting a bunt down can help you win a game. It almost did for the Mets in the 8th inning. Ordonez 1 for 2 today in bunting, 1 for 4 in this series. Those are the things that eat managers alive.
I apologize saying Moore is up, not Todd Pratt here. Moore has been hitting in the 9-hole. Takes it inside for a ball. 1 down, 10th inning, 8-8. Todd Pratt is on deck. He's hitting in the leadoff spot. And Ordonez becomes a very quiet bench when you don't get one of those bunts down. Especially in this situation with the season on the line. Rocker with 1 away. Agbayani being held at first. The other irony, Kenny, is that Bobby Valentine, the manager of the Mets, was one of the game's outstanding bunters as a player. I mean, this guy could lay bunts down. And he's worked with players on doing that. 1-1.
Well, plan B would have Agbayani steal second. He had a stolen base in the 14th inning in Game 5. But there was a right-hander on the mound. It was McGlinchey, and easier to steal against.
He was 6 for 10 stealing bases during the regular season, Benny Agbayani. Myers behind the plate. Foul ball. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Mora. Tension just will not go away. And Mora wants the timeout.
It's like the tension mounts and then the hitter steps out. He can't take it anymore.
Runner goes. They got him picked off. Hunter! Hit him in the back. He's safe. Benny Agbayani was running. It will be a stolen base. Hunter's throw hit Agbayani in the back.
And one reason he hit him because he didn't take a step towards the middle of the infield so he can have a clearer line to throw to second. He stands right there, and the throw is going to come directly into the back of Agbayani. It hits him. It'll go as a stolen base. There's a throw. Right in the middle of the 5 and the 0.
It'll be an error charge on the throw made by Hunter. First error against the Braves. How big is this going to be? Valentine jumping up and down. Agbayani at second base. Moore's got a 1-2 count. And that's going to be a base hit into center field. Andrew Jones up. They'll hold the run. Throw cut off of the mound by Hunter. And the Mets, with 1 away, have runners at first and third off John Rocker.
How big has Melvin Mora been in this series? I mean, for a guy who spent so much time in the minors as a role player with the Mets, I mean, Rocker, he turned around a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and lines it into center field. Only because Andrew Jones plays shallow and has a great arm, one of the best in baseball, did the Mets hold up Agbayani. See, he didn't recognize right away that it was a base hit. Even so, they would have held him at third.
Moore is 2 for 2 in this game, and in this series 6 for 14. With a chance to take the lead again. The Met fans chanting "Let's go Mets" here in Atlanta. And here's Todd Pratt. First and third. One down. Rocker. Pratt wanting to get that run in from third any way he can.
Think back to this inning. A leadoff walk, an error on a pickoff, and then a base hit. So it hasn't. It's been as if the Braves are trying to hand the game to the Mets here. All they got to do is grab out, reach out, and grab it.
Pratt 2 for 4 off Rocker. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Game tied 8-8. Mets now out hitting the Braves 15-7. Myers up with it. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Agbayani at third. Moore is at first. Chipper Jones playing even with the bag at third base. Hunter holding the runner at first. They'll look for a double play at short and second. 2-1. Chased high heat, 2-2.
After 2 breaking balls, Pratt guessed the fastball. He got it, but it was not a strike. You can't be too over anxious. You got to make the pitcher come in the zone. See it? He knows Rocker throws hard, but nobody's going to catch up to a pitch up there. And you can see Pratt's reaction in swinging at that pitch. What the Braves want is a strikeout or a ground ball. What the Mets want, a base hit or a long fly ball.
2-2 delivered. Myers having to reach for that one. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Todd Pratt. The backup catcher was filled in for Mike Piazza when he was injured during the year.
What happens here now, though, effectively by going to 3-2, Mora will be off and running to stay away from the double play. So what Brian Hunter does, he moves back to give himself some more room to maneuver defensively. But here, the Braves have lost the chance to get a double play on a ground ball. So they're going to bring the infield in to cut Agbayani down at the plate.
Moved in at second and short. Already in at third and first. 3-2. Pratt. Center field. Andrew Jones. Runner tagging. Agbayani. Andrew Jones. Throw to the plate. Could be for the season. The tag got away. Did he touch the plate? Yes. The Mets lead. 9-8. A sacrifice fly for Todd Pratt. And the leadoff walk has resulted in the go-ahead run in the 10th inning.
Twice, Benny Agbayani has scored the go-ahead run in this game. Andrew Jones, a strong arm. The throw was there in time, but it's offline. And Greg Myers cannot come up with it. He comes up the line, cannot hold it. And Benny Agbayani, for the second time in this game, has scored the tying run. This is not a deep fly ball, maybe medium to shallow. He plays it well, but the throw is going to sail up the third base line. He can't hold it, and Agbayani scores.
2 down, runner at second base. Danny Agbayani crossing the plate.
So the Mets do get their fly ball. Another look at the throw. One more look. And watch his left hand reach out and touch home.
Runner goes to third. No throw by Myers. So Mora gets himself over to third. Stolen base. Todd Pratt, 3 RBIs in the playoffs He had a home run against Arizona that won it, a bases loaded walk Sunday that tied it, a sac fly that's put the Mets on top in the 10th inning here.
Sounds like the guy you want up there at the right time, doesn't it?
5-0 from Hawaii. Two-strike count. Edgardo Alfonzo, a huge run at third base. And Alfonzo went after it and struck out. But an unearned run in the 10th inning on a hit and an error. We go to the bottom half of the 10th inning. 9-8 Mets. Threatening to take this to an unprecedented Game 7. After being down 3-0 in this series, we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and the Mets have a 9-8 lead.
Here's how the Mets scored the run. Now, remember, Benny Agbayani got on with a leadoff walk. Rocker was going to throw to first, but he took so long to get it over there that he gives to Hunter no choice. Hunter has the ball. As the runner gets closer to second base, it makes it harder to make a throw. Hunter has the ball. Agbayani's kind of wide anyway, but see how close he was to second? That's where you want to throw the ball. He had no place to throw it, but they hit him in the back.
Armando Benitez with a chance to get the win in this game. 3 outs away from doing it. Will face Andruw Jones, the catcher Myers, and Hunter due up. Ryan Klesko is on the bench as a left-handed bat. And a ball-2 count on Andruw Jones. Rick Reed would start Game 7 tomorrow if the Mets win. Benitez gets it in 2-1. The run unearned in the 10th inning off John Rocker. Inside 3-1. Rocker will walk the leadoff batter in the top half of the inning.
I like to watch Benitez pitch because when he's ahead on the count, he has a tendency to throw the ball harder. When he falls behind, the readings on the scoreboard drop down a little bit, like he's trying to get it over. That's when you get in trouble with the long ball.
Showed bunt, took strike. 3-2.
That one was 93. When he's ahead on the count, he's upward. He's closer to 100.
Timeout taken. Again, stepping out, trying to bother Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez is quick. He wants the ball. He wants to throw it again.
Andruw Jones delivers a base hit up the middle. And the Atlanta Braves will bring the potential winning run to the plate.
See, that's the danger. When you fall behind, you have to come in with a strike. And like I said, Benitez has a tendency not to throw quite as hard when he has to throw a strike. That one's right in the middle of the plate, should be hit hard. And it goes right back through the middle for a base hit. And I'm thinking, after watching Benitez over all these years, he's given up some big hits in his career in postseason. I wonder if he drops down with velocity to get the ball over, and that gets him in trouble.
Greg Myers is coming up. Would you have him bunt here because he's a potential ground ball double play man? Doesn't show bunt, takes strike. Ryan Klesko, the man you want up there, is on deck. Myers, this is his first at-bat in the game.
Andruw Jones, 24 steals on the year, much in the same way Chipper Jones stole second earlier.
The Mets were looking for the bunt, but on those first 2 pitchers, Myers not squaring around.
And that tells you that Bobby Cox doesn't think he can get a bunt down. So maybe what he's thinking, if Andruw Jones can get a jump and steal, Greg Myers can pull the ball or move it somehow to get him over to third.
Myers did not have a sacrifice bunt in 200 at-bats during the regular season.
And you see Benitez step off with Andruw Jones. That's his best move, the first, by stepping off, not even throwing.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Myers takes it away. 2-1. Ned Yost with the signs to Greg Myers. Myers hit .265 during the regular season. Third catcher for the Braves. Bear in mind the Braves have 3 catchers. Fabregas along with Perez and Myers. Bobby Cox carrying just 9 pitchers. Swung on and missed. 2-2. If Benitez throws strikes, this is a mismatch.
Now with the count 2-2, the last pitch was 94. I would almost figure that this one's going to be a lot higher than 94. 96, 2 miles an hour is a big difference. That's the difference between a foul ball and a swing and a miss. 94 to 96.
2-2. Runner not going. Hit in the air to left field. Benier Bionic. And there's one down in the 10th inning.
What was interesting, after the ball was hit, the scoreboard read 127. What it read on the radar gun was not the pitch coming in, but the ball going out. Because if he threw it 127, he wasn't going to hit it.
Here's the matchup. Pratt out talking about how they're going to pitch to Ryan Klesko. Klesko coming on as the pinch hitter for Brian Hunter. The Braves have got to get at least 1 to keep this game alive. Klesko up as the pinch hitter against Armando Benitez with 1 down. Runner at first. Klesko has faced Benitez once and had a hit. Ozzie Guillen on deck. Hit for Weiss. 1-0 count.
That's Fabregas coming in from the bullpen.
He's been out there warming up pitchers, maybe needed to hit. Klesko, the 1-0 delivery to him, up high, ball 2, 2-0. So here's a hitter's count for Ryan Klesko. Klesko is a power hitter. 21 home runs, 80 RBIs. Over the last 2 years, he has cut his strikeouts in half from what they were 3 years ago. 3-0.
You send him up here to swing the bat, you let him swing. 3 balls and no strikes. In case Benitez just lays one in there. I don't think he will.
Andrew Jones back to first base.
See, but the danger of the walk here is he moved the tying run into scoring position.
Took it for a strike. 3-1. Armando Benitez. 3-1 count on Klesko. Steps off. Andrew Jones back to first.
Looks like he was going. He had that little flinch move towards second when Benitez stepped off. Remember, the Braves want to stay out of the double play here.
3-1, non-running. He walked. Armando Benitez has walked 2 now in the relief appearance. Ozzie Guillen has been announced as he will pinch hit for Walt Weiss. Dave Wallace coming out to talk to Benitez. Bear in mind here, Kenny, that Armando Benitez generally works only 1 inning. He has thrown 40 pitches in an inning and a third. Chipper Jones can't stand to even watch it. That may not seem like a lot for a pitcher to come on and be working in just his second inning of relief. But that's not the way Armando Benitez is generally used.
He's usually in there with the lead and puts the game away. That's his job, to close the games out. Last game in New York, Guillen faced Benitez. And if you remember correctly, he had some good swings. He pulled the ball foul. It just missed being a home run at Shea Stadium. And he lagged down.
Ozzie not noted as a long ball hitter. Runners at first and second, 1 out, 9-8 Mets. Guillen takes it for a strike. 0 for 5 against Armando Benitez. Good speed, Andruw Jones at second. Ryan Klesko on at first base. Steps out. Guillen hit .241 during the regular season, 1 homer. Fabregas, who you saw coming in from the bullpen, on deck. The pinch hit. 1 away. 10th inning. 0-1 delivery. Guillen. Base hit. Andruw Jones, the turn. The throw will come to third base. And get him at third for the second out. But the game is tied at 9. Ozzie Guillen with a pinch hit RBI single, and the Atlanta Braves have tied it up in the 10th inning. But Mora threw out Klesko at third.
Great decision by Mora, because he would not have gotten Andruw Jones at the plate. So instead of throwing the ball home, he goes to third base to cut off the potential winning run, and he makes an excellent throw to Ventura all the way on the fly, and Klesko is tagged out. They were not going to get the speedy Andruw Jones, so he went for the next best thing, and Mora made the right decision. That's a lot of experience in the minor leagues. When he's come to the majors, he knows how to play. There's the Braves dugout. They're going to be let down a little bit when Klesko gets thrown out, but they know they still live in this game.
Wow. 2 down. Runner at first base. Game tied at 9. And Ozzie Guillen comes through with the RBI. Then sees the runner go at third. What a series for Melvin Mora in every way.
Offense, defense. Remember, he's the one who came up with Chipper Jones's double on a wet field. They made a decent throw to Edgardo Alfonso, who threw out Lockhart at the plate.
Fabregas, the pinch hitter. 2 down.
In fact, Mets outfielders have 7 assists in this series. And that was supposed to be the weakness in the Mets defense.
And was much of the season. Fabregas, just a .199 hitter during the regular season. Lofts that one to left field. Benny Agbayani. And oh my. A series, it won't die. The Mets, a go-ahead run in the 10th inning. The Atlanta Braves, a tying run in the bottom of the 10th inning. We go to the 11th. Here's John Olerud. Russ Springer has come out of the bullpen to work for the Atlanta Braves. Outside for a ball. 2 games this postseason. Couple of innings pitched, couple of strikeouts. And Olerud takes it outside, 2-0. Springer's second game in this series. He's worked 1 inning with a walk and a strikeout. Ozzie Guillen's in it short.
Yeah.
He came on to pinch hit with the pinch hit RBI. Klesko stays in at first base. And the new pitcher, Russ Springer. Olerud, 2 singles, RBI in this game, 2 runs scored, 2-1.
Gary, when you think back to the last inning, and we mentioned this before about Melvin Mora, all those years in the minor leagues, that was a very professional play, making that throw.
Center field, Andruw Jones. Kenny, we mentioned how Melvin Mora had other players on the Mets had options, meaning that the Mets during spring training could have sent other players down and not lost the rights to them. Mel Mora would have made the roster of the Mets during the regular season, but it was what we call a game of numbers. Mora could be sent down without losing him, so that's what the Mets did, and he spent the year at the minors.
But here's what I mean about the decision. In this day and age where outfielders routinely throw the ball to the wrong base, he knew he couldn't get Andrew Jones, and he went directly to third and gunned down Klesko. That may have saved the Mets season. That one throw, that one decision at the right time by Melvin Mora.
Sean Dunston, the pinch hitter, pops it up. Well, the Mets have used up their bench. And there are two down. Dunston hitting for Armando Benitez. So Benitez out of the game. He came on to work a couple of innings and charged with the run on a couple of hits. Two down, nobody on in the 11th inning, and Robin Ventura. They doubled and scored in the 6th, 1 for 4. Still struggling at the plate. Just 3 hits here in this League Championship Series.
Well, with Benitez out of the ball game, that means the Mets are going to have to go to another pitcher out of that bullpen.
Kenny Rogers got a pretty good chance of being one of those.
Man has been primarily a starter his whole career. It's kind of ironic that Bobby Valentine did not want to use him to start this game. Now he's going to hope that he can hold down the Atlanta Braves.
1-1 the count on Ventura. Both teams have used all of their position players now. Only available players who've not been in the game are pitchers. This big crowd, largest ever here at Turner Field, has been treated to one heck of a game and a roller coaster ride. Four hours and 11 minutes have been consumed so far in this game without a winner. 2-2 delivered to Ventura, ripped right field corner, and it is a foul ball.
Just a little too quick with the bat. See where the pitch is. Does he hit the outside corner with it? No, he doesn't. It's up towards the middle of home plate, which is always the danger zone. The hitter's usually going to get good wood on a ball if he swings at it. And Robin Ventura too quick, pulls it foul by about 10 feet.
Two ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. Second base, Brett. Russ Springer retires the Mets in order in the top half of the 11th inning. And one more time, the Atlanta Braves will come up against Kenny Rogers with a chance to win the pennant.
I'm Cal Ripken Jr. of the Baltimore Orioles. Watch the World Series right here on Channel 5.
Can somebody win this game? So far, the answer to that is no, and they both have had real chances. Each team scoring in the 10th inning. We go to the 11th, 9-9.
Well, Mets and Braves fans have been treated to over 10 hours of baseball. Maybe not treated. Maybe that's a poor word. Yeah, that's not a good word. They've seen 10 hours of baseball. And a lot of it, they haven't been that happy. They've been on the edge of their seats. The Braves fans, they got the top of the order up here.
Chance to win it. 1 run will do it. Kenny Rogers, the left-hander, 34 years old. 2 appearances in this series, 7 1/3 innings, 4 runs on 10 hits off him, including a couple of home runs. Gerald Williams leads it off. Williams, Boone, and Chipper Jones do up. We're now up to 44 players used in this game. Changeup, 0-2.
Certainly a different look for these Atlanta Braves hitters after Benitez. Kenny Rogers, the speed of that last pitch was 88. Benitez can do that throwing left-handed.
And down the line. That is a base hit. Gerald Williams on his way to second base. A leadoff double.
One reason why that's a mistake, because the count is no balls and 2 strikes. You're not supposed to throw a pitch that close and that fat in the strike zone with the count 0-2. What you're trying to do is expand the zone and make the hitter chase a poor pitch. You can see the reaction of the Braves as that ball is in the corner. Not a leadoff single, but a leadoff double. Right now the Braves are halfway to the pennant.
Hit number 10 for Atlanta. Dotel in the bullpen.
And what Bobby Valentine is thinking, I need to get a harder thrower in the game. Somebody who can strike people out. And that's why Dotel is up and throwing. Kenny Rogers doesn't throw as hard. So there's more apt to have the ball put in play. That's not what you want right now.
69 was the year of the Miracle Mets. Atlanta fans saying not this year. 9-9 the score. Bunting to move him up. That's a fair ball. Olerud will tag Brett out. 1 down. The pennant-winning run at third.
Well, you know Chipper Jones won't get to do it. They're going to walk him. And you got to figure Brian Jordan won't get to do it. They're going to walk him too and load the bases. They're going to walk the Braves number 3 and number 4 hitters. We watched Brett Boone move Gerald Williams to third base. It's going to boo, but this is just the way it's going to be. This is baseball. You don't want the best guys to beat you. And it wouldn't surprise me with 1 run meaning it all that Brian Jordan's going to be walked right after him to bring a force to every base. And it will leave it up to Andrew Jones. And once Bobby Cox decided to bunt Brett Boone, if I'm Andrew Jones in the dugout, I'm thinking this is coming down to me.
There he is. He knows.
Did you hear somebody say do it for Curacao? I hope you're watching out there at Curacao, because your man's going to have a chance to win the pennant for the Atlanta Braves.
1 away. First and third. Brian Jordan. Here comes Bobby Valentine. The manager coming out instead of the pitching coach here in the 11th inning. Brian Jordan waiting at the plate to see what the decision's going to be. He's 1 for 4 with a home run off Rogers.
I think what Bobby's trying to do is relax his infielders. You know, he's got a smile on his face. He's saying if everything works out the way we want it here. Now, to me, I'm not so sure he's going to walk Brian Jordan now. We'll see. But I would. I mean, here's a guy who drove in 115 runs. There's no doubt in my mind I don't want him to beat me.
Give yourself, as you said, Kenny, a force
at every base. And he's telling his infielders, if they decide to walk him, which it doesn't look like they're going to do, they're going to play the outfield in. They have to. A long fly ball will win the pennant. And they're going to play the infield back at this point to look for the double play. They might be charging in. What they're going to do is they're going to walk him, just as I thought.
You cannot let Brian Jordan hit against a left-hander in this situation.
There was a pitch out on the first play. Let's see if they do it again.
1-0 count. Ball 2. Todd Pratt looking over into the dugout at Valentine. See, he wants the intentional now. They won't mess around with it anymore.
So just as we suspected, it's going to fall to Andrew Jones to try and win the pennant for the Atlanta Braves.
And it will be against Dotel.
A tough spot to bring a young man into, isn't it?
Can you let Andrew Jones hit against a left-hander?
I think he's going to go with the veteran Kenny Rogers, because I don't think he's going to bring the young man in under that pressure situation and have him give up the pennant losing run, and because it might scar him for the rest of his young career. You got a veteran in Kenny Rogers on the mound, somebody who I think even if he does give up the run will be able to get over.
4 for 5 off Rogers. Bases loaded. 1 run away from the World Series. Ball 1. Williams, the only run that matters at third.
Outfielders are way in. A long fly ball will win this game. The infielders about halfway. They have a choice to come home on a slowly hit ball or go for a double play on one that's hit hard.
1-0 count, 9-9, 11th inning. 1 more run. And Atlanta goes to the World Series for the 9th time. Rogers steps off. Wants Todd Pratt to come out.
If we could look at the Met infield once again.
From the belt, here it is. He walked him, and the Braves are in the World Series. The Braves are in the World Series. A walk does it.